All right, I'm delighted to say that Ireland rugby captain Rory Best now joins us on the line. Good morning to you, Rory. How are things?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Let's start by talking about the weekend just gone. It's an unusual one because it's a send-off, but at the same time, it's the start of something. What are the emotions like at the moment?
Look, I think it's nice to get on the plane on Wednesday with a reasonably clean bill of health for us. Come off the back of a win, performance that we're a lot happier with, and we have been in the past couple of games. So ultimately it's, like you said, it's the start for us. We need to keep getting better, and ultimately in Sunday week will be where we'll really be tested. But I think in terms of getting on the plane with a little bit of confidence, we've picked that.
In terms of your own personal send-off then, your last game at the Aviva Stadium, Joe Schmidt's last game as head coach at the Aviva Stadium, what was that like, the reception you got from the fans?
Okay, it was great. I think when you get to a certain point in your career, you kind of want to make sure you leave on your own terms and leave the top, and to be able to do that and to get the reception I got coming off is, I think for me personally it was lovely, but I think more so for my family and my friends, and everyone was there for them to see how the supporters kind of hold me. It was very special for them too. So I was, I suppose, surprised, but very much delighted with the reception that I got and the noise in the stadium.
When you talk about being happier with the Ireland performance at the weekend, it's obviously been an interesting couple of weeks. The England game was something that would have drawn a lot of criticism for the team as a whole. If you talk about the happiness that you had at the weekend with that performance, just how disappointed were you with that performance with England? Or did you say to yourselves, listen, we're a week behind in our preparations compared to England and there's a bit to go yet?
We sort of knew we were a couple of weeks behind England. They'd come off the back of those two tough games against Wales, and if you look where we are now, having played two tough games, even before that Wales game at the weekend, at this level it makes a big difference. And said that there were aspects of it that you'll give a little bit of leeway because the first game of the season, but there were lots of aspects of it that just weren't acceptable by our standards. We knew we needed to address that. We weren't panicking in any shape or form, but at the same time it is hugely frustrating to feel at this level playing for your country that you get embarrassed that way, and we kind of have to be honest with ourselves in terms of where we were after that game, where we were in the build-up of that game, and probably last Six Nations as well, and we, kind of sometimes you need a real sort of kick just to realise exactly where you are, and you can't go through a World Cup campaign, the attitude, it'll be fine next week, and sometimes you need, I think it would have been nice of having such a hard kick, but ultimately you need something like that to spark into life.
For sure. Like in terms of you personally then, I know it's always a little bit harsh when it comes to line-out criticism. The hooker always gets blamed. I guess when you're captain as well, the captain often takes a bit of the brunt. And I guess from your own point of view at that point, did you feel that there was a bit too much criticism of you? Like what was it like inside the camp? Were there questions asked of you as starting hooker at that point?
I think ultimately the biggest critics are ourselves, and I wasn't happy with the way I played. I wasn't happy with how the lineouts went. I wasn't happy, obviously, from a captaincy how the team went. But I think within the camp, we were still confident as to what we could put together. We knew that wasn't us, and look, I think that there's a lot of kind of knee-jerk reactions one way or the other. And when you asked the England game that we weren't as bad as maybe it was being reported we were, and that's individually and collectively, but we're also acutely aware now after the Wales game of the weekend that we're probably not as good as or not in a place where we want to be, where some of the stuff has been reported. So look, we need to stay somewhere in the middle. We need to keep trying to get better, and I think that it was a bit of a shock to us all. I don't think in a green jersey. It's been a long time since I've been involved in such a heavy loss with the standards we set, and look, we knew we needed to regroup, but I think that's the biggest test of a team and of a leadership group and of an individual is how you can respond to that, because there are going to be setbacks over the next couple of months if you want to get where we want to get to in the World Cup. We're going to have to be able to adapt and cope when curveballs are thrown at us, and that was quite a big one a couple of weeks ago, and I think we've come back stronger, but we need to keep getting better.
It's interesting. Like I'm sure in the build-up to the game against Wales at the weekend, everything was close to perfect. I guess you guys knew in the camp that a good performance was coming. At the same time, despite all your experience, despite the fact you probably put in a really good week, when the first two line-out balls go a little bit astray, are you thinking to yourself, "Oh God, not again"?
Well, I think you have to sort of take them into. We knew that Wales, they have a good line of defence. We kind of, with where we are at the stage of the season, there's another change around in personnel in there, and you've got to give that a bit of time. And I think from my point of view, from the mental side of it, you got to realise that I was happy with the way they were both thrown, and sometimes teams guess right. Sometimes we don't get it perfect, and you just got to move on. And that was one of the lessons from England, is that we allowed the loss of the line-outs, and actually the first game against England was one of our best that we've had. We won up nice and clean off the top, and off we went, and then it was the next one. But we allowed that to dominate the game, and that was something we said about, and Joe had said to me that he's played, when he was coaching with Leinster, they lost the first 6 line-outs, but we're still leading against a good side. He couldn't remember who, by 20 points. And he said that that's the sort of thing that we've got to get better at. It's got to be, it can't allow one area of the game that isn't going exactly how you like it to dominate the rest of it. And that was kind of a switch mentality that I felt that they were thrown quite well. They got up, they guessed, they stole them, it happened. But how can we react to the next moment? Those times we defensively went back at them and tried to get the ball back, and I think that's where you've got to be. And we just had a bit of a calm down, and I think against England, again, we probably just were a little bit naive. We just kept trying to go to the same generic call, because that was kind of what we said. We didn't want to show too much against England. And whereas against Wales, we had our full line-out menu. We said, after England, said, look, we go in with a line-out menu that's going to win ball,
right? Not
a generic one to not show things. And obviously with James in there, we were able to stop and go, right, well, look, we know that we thought that those two would work. They didn't, because they guessed them. But we know we have a couple of other options that we feel will work. Let's just go to them.
Right.
He was very good.
That's very interesting, Rory. So basically, there was the notion that Ireland were keeping a lot back against England was true, and Wales resembled more your plan A in that department.
Yeah, well, we sort of took it a bit more like I wouldn't say that what the stuff we held back against England with the way we played would have made any difference. But certainly there was a little bit more of we need a generic game plan that we follow, whereas Wales was very much right, well, look, this is what will work, and then that will be the way we plan for most internationals. And I think that's just the way it's got to be. You've got to make sure that ultimately what you hold back against the team, the benefit of that is very much outweighed by the fact that the conference took an absolute smashing after England, whereas now, okay, we're going to be showed a little bit to Scotland, but we get on the plane on Wednesday with a little bit more confidence that we had after last week's game, and I think that we're in a lot better place from having the confidence that we can, we are playing well as a team.
Last question, Rory. I know you're pushed for time. Like you mentioned, boarding that plane this week. Joe, in his post-match press conference the last day, was talking about perhaps getting to a World Cup semi-final and what that would represent for Ireland, given the previous record. Is that your current aim as well, to break that glass ceiling, to win a quarter-final this time?
I think for us, look, it ultimately, as a group, we want to keep doing things that no other Irish team has done, and I think that's obviously a massive one for us. But at the same time, we're under no illusions that this game against Scotland, unlike other World Cups I've played in, we are straight in at the deep end. We're playing the second highest ranked team in our pool first, and we know that we have to get off to a good start, so we have to concentrate on the first game, but it is about trying to create history for ourselves.
Rory, very best of luck at the World Cup. Thanks a million for taking the call.